Today, we are going to learn about the California sea lions. And our sea lions are going to be in Kelp, which is in the Monterey Bay and many other places too. And I have a video for us right here. There. And it's a happy video about our sea lions. There, which are awesome. And sometimes lazy. But they can go 25 miles an hour when they're in the ocean. Yeah, that's kind of fun. There. And they kind of lie around and sunbathe, but when they need to go hunting, they are really fast. Yeah. So we're going to be doing our sea lions underwater, like this one here, because they spend a lot of time underwater catching their food, doing what they need to do. Yeah. There. Oh, we got that. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a pencil. We're going to need an eraser. And if you have a Sharpie, I would like that. That would be awesome. And then we're actually going to be doing watercolor. So if you have watercolor, you don't have to, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, you can do any of those things. Those are great. Okay, but right now, we're going to start with this. And now, this is a big image there, but looky, I'm going to do a littler one because I want to actually be able to get through this video because smaller is better. In your case, use just a regular size paper and take your time, okay? And take your time. So what I want to do here, I'm going to show you. Here's one of our sea lions happening here. And while I do that, I actually want to get some sounds of sea lions. I love sea lions. There. So here's one. They actually make sounds when they're underwater too. That's kind of fun. And look, oh my gosh, who doesn't love a good sea lion? Look at that. There. And another one swimming. Look at that. Okay. There. Oh, hello, sea lion. Look at you. And they use these whiskers actually can feel when there's fish around and things like that. So here's one of these here. It has pointed snout, sensitive whiskers, short, thick fur, ears. They actually have ears. They're not big like us, but little ears that you can see. They're 6 to 7 feet long and weighing up to 600 pounds. They could even be more than that, And they're as tall as a person, but laying down, right? The black back flippers fold underneath so it walks, but they're behind them when they're swimming. And here they are, lounging around. Now, this is the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, the wharf there, and I go there a lot, and I love to visit my sea lions. So there's their line. Look, they go there. They really like each other. They're very social. Look, the babies who lay down on the mamas there, and they're just like gathering together. And look at this whole bunch. The tails and the flippers and the heads, and they're all on top of each other, and they're so happy. They love hanging out together and making sounds. Okay, and more. This is under the wharf. There's these holes that you can look in on our wharf anyway, and you can look down and see the sea lions down in there. And usually these lighter colored ones could be the mamas, or the very lighter colored ones could be the babies, like that. The really dark ones, they're usually the males. There. And then here's a close-up of his little face. Oh, look at your little face. Oh, good. You are good. Okay, let's turn this thing off. We don't need this anymore. Okay. And there they are. They kind of like holding their heads up a lot. There we go. And this is so interesting. On a hot day especially, you'll see them out in the water with one fin up. And I've heard it said that the fin is to help them cool off a little bit because they really got a lot of blubber on them. They got a lot of blubber on them to keep them warm, but it's harder for them to handle things when it gets hot. And they all pod up together. I call it a pod. I don't know what it is. It's a group. It's a group. And they pod up together with their fins up in the air, one fin up, and cool off and just kind of float like a mat. Float like a mat. So, we are going to draw our sea lion that's going to be in a kelp forest. Now, a kelp forest we have that at Monterey Bay, and they're pretty magical. It literally is a forest. It's a forest, and a forest of it's algae, which isn't considered really a plant, and it certainly isn't a tree, but it kind of wiggles in the water. So we're going to be drawing wiggle lines, and it's got little tiny balloon kind of things on them that hold some gases that keep up the leaves, keep them up so that they kind of bounce and go up and don't just float down. And at the very bottom, they have like tree roots, but they're called a holdfast at the very bottom. It holds them like roots. And then it just kind of wiggles through the water, and the water sways back and forth. So, with that in mind, this is what we're going to do. Let's just start with a wiggle. One wiggle, right? We have a wiggle, right? Okay. And then let's start with wiggle, 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 and then maybe, another wiggle, 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 like that. So we have a total of 3 wiggles, and it's okay if they cross over. That's totally fine. But since we did that, I want us to now, we put in our kelp. And what I want us to do right now is I want us to be able to do our sea lion, right? Now, a sea lion, I just want you to kind of put an oval in here. You know what I forgot to do? I need my charcoal here. Put in an oval. We're just putting in an oval in. Just a big, kind of squished oval. It's a long, squished oval, right? Okay. But in this case, we want the head to come up a little bit more like this. Up, 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 up like that, right? Good. And then this part's going to come back like this. And they move up and down all the time. But we're going to have this back come back. And don't worry about going over the kelp. They're going through the kelp. Okay. So we're just going to come back over here. And then we'll just have his little feet come out over here. It's okay if it goes off the page. Don't even worry about that. And here we were coming back over here. I'm going to give it a little chest here, and then it gets skinny back up here. Skinny, 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 right up. Get skinny, skinny right up here. And then here's his flippers in the back, and the flippers are, kind of have like little toes, sort of like that. Not exactly, but there we go, flippers. Now, the next part here, we're going to have here's our creature here. We're going to have our creature looking at us, right, which is kind of cute. Right, we like that. So here's the head here, and I did the head a little bit more like this. Okay, here's our head. So I'm going to actually start by simply putting a triangle sort of in the middle. That would be kind of the nose, and then off to the side will be an eye, right? And then, it's got the cutest little mouth, like a kitty cat mouth, right? There we go. Good. And it does have some wrinkles down in here like that. Some wrinkles. That's okay. And we'll finish the rest in the ear. It does have a tiny little ear here. We won't see the ear on the other side, but we would be seeing this one here. Actually, it's more over here. Whoop. This is my bad. That's the wrong place for the ear. That's why they invented erasers. Here we go. So it's hard to erase charcoal, but we're going to come over here. This is where our ear is, by the eyes over here like that. There, that was mine. Okay, and now the flippers, the big, powerful. This one here, we're going to start up almost the middle of the body. See, almost the middle, and we're going to go, whoa, like that, right? And come around and then flip, 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 little bumps, and then come back up in here like that. There we go. Like that. Now, I wish this were a little bit longer. I would make that longer, but it's going to be a short one here. Okay, and then here we go again here. Bump, 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 bump. Yes. Now, I don't want us to worry about oval. Oval, that means one thing in front of another. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to have the sea lion will be in front of the kelp, and the kelp would be behind us. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to erase this part here where the kelp comes through the tail, and I'm just going to see that, so the line comes right to there and then behind. So this, watch how I draw the kelp. It goes, we're just actually going to go straight line, kind of circle, and then a circle, and then a circle, and then a circle, and maybe another here, and then maybe a circle like this. Straight line to each one of these like that, and a little circle. This circle is where that kind of the balloon is to hold up the stem. Okay, so the next part, the water is going to be waving like this. The water moves. So we're going to have it this way, so we're going to actually create this way. And so they're kind of long and skinny like that. Right where the bubbles, or right where the circles are, right? Long and skinny. And this one's going off the page, right? Long, and they're really long and skinny. Long and skinny. Okay, and this one goes underneath, don't go over. Long and skinny. Okay, long, there we are. Woo, and maybe this one's going up a little bit, that's okay. And this one could come right over here and a little bit of overlap maybe. And then like that, there you go. And it goes off my page. Maybe it won't go off yours. And so here, again, I want to show you, we don't want to have overlaps. You saw that this tail, the flipper, is in front of this over here. Now watch over here. I just want you to erase the parts where the kelp comes through your sea lion, right? So now I'm going to come back over here, and here's this line here. So I'm going to, and again, the water's going this way. Okay, so I'm going to go little circles, straight line, circle, like this, and then I'm going to catch it on this side over here, circle and circle. And then let's do this one here too. Circle, line, circle, and it goes underneath over here, circle, hop over, circle, and circle. Now, just once you just put the circles on your lines, this will help you. Don't worry about overlap right now. That's why they invented erasers, so that we can erase where we need to. Overlap is tricky. It's knowing what's in front, what's middle, and what's back. This is front, this is middle. We don't have back right now. So watch what we're going to do. Here comes our long blades like this, right? Blade, and it can be wiggly. It's wiggly because look, it's in the water and it's kind of floating, and some are bigger than others, right? Right, so we're going to come all the way up here. Wherever you have a circle, and now it ran into it, but I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to leap over here, a little bit, they're long and skinny. Leap over here, see, in that direction. And again, here we go. Whoa. Whoa, and it can come back over here if we want to. Whoa. There, and more over here. Here we go. Whoa. Where this other one is, don't worry if there's overlap, we'll take care of it. Just go right on top right now. That's great. Okay, now what we're going to do? What we're going to do is we're actually going to erase the insides here. So here's one, I'm going to erase inside that leaf. This the leaf for the ones the furthest to the edge. Just erase inside that leaf. Erase inside all the leaves here, right in here. Erase, erase. Wherever the leaves have something in it, just erase it. These are pretty good over here. These are all good over here. This is the confusing ones here. I'm actually showing you something pretty complicated, okay? I'm showing you how to keep the overlap working, and overlap means the thing that's in front of each other, because you don't want things going through your sea lion, because your sea lion's in the front. It would be like here, my charcoal pencil is behind my hand, but you're not going to see this part of the charcoal because I covered it up. Well, the same here, you're not going to see some parts of these leaves. So when you think you've erased it pretty clean, the next thing I'm going to, oh, you know what I forgot? Oh, I love this part. It's the whiskers. So a little dot whisker, dot whisker, dot whisker, and another whisker's over here, right below the eyeballs, by the nose. Okay, like that. They use those whiskers for feeling things. I mean, they say they can feel the fish, which would be interesting. Here's another overlap here. The this part here is actually on top of the bottom, so you can erase that part too. Not here. This is different. Okay, now the next thing, I know this looks complicated, but it's going to get uncomplicated really fast. I'm going to ask you if you have a Sharpie. Let's use that Sharpie. And if you don't have a Sharpie, use a black pencil or just use your regular pencil and carefully outline. So here I'm going to pretend I only have the pencil for now. I'm going to put down my Sharpie. Now, this is, if I just have a regular pencil, you do your circle and you're just outlining carefully, pressing a little harder than you would, okay? In my case, I do have the Sharpie and I like how it looks, so I'm gonna go do that. So here we go. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna press on the outside of my blade here. Come on up here. Boom, here we are. And I'm just going from section to section. Wherever I already had the dots, I'm gonna come over there and I'm not gonna run into my animal. Don't worry, just don't run into your animal. If you have any questions, just don't do it, okay? So here we go. And we're going to come over here, there, and here's our stipend. And let's just do all of the ones wherever you put the dots, follow the lines of your leaves there. That's all. And the leaves kind of look like Turkish towels. They look like towels. They're all bumpy. And they're kind of fun to look at. So now we're going to start with the one over here, the furthest to the edge of the page. The furthest to the edge of the page here. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to go find that circle and we're going to outline that leaf, the whole leaf. Don't worry about any other lines. Just go on the out, wherever that leaf is. Here's that leaf. Okay, yay, I got a leaf. Now go to the next circle that you made on this stem here. And you're going to come over here. Good. And we're going to go to the next place where you have a leaf. Okay. And we're going to, don't worry if there's anything. Look here, I forgot to erase that. All of that. But I'm following wherever that circle is. I'm going to come over here. I'm just following wherever that circle was and wherever I outlined the leaf. Now here's a place where there's two of them happening. So there's one here. And then there's this one here. And there's not much of it because I absolutely don't want to run into my sea lion. Oh, there we go. Okay, and here's another one up here, right? Take your time. Whoops, I should be starting on this one. My bad. There, starting on that one. Stay on the outside. Yeah. And just follow your lines. And don't worry if it doesn't work perfectly. It's fine. These are very complicated plants. They're a huge forest. You know they're one of the fastest growing things in the world is kelp. And then here's the second one, and it's behind, little line behind. Oh, but I see here's where the leaf is. So here's my leaf. Not much line, a little line behind here, and a bit of a leaf over here. And I saw there was a bit of a leaf over here. And that's it. I am not going to do too much with my kelp because it can get kind of hard, okay? So now we want to do our awesome sea lions, right? So why don't we just start at the head? The head is good. And we're just going to go head, 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 head. And don't worry too much about those whiskers. And we're going to come over here, but we're going to stop right there at that flipper, okay? Stop. Okay, and leap over to the other side of your flipper here. And then my feet are really much longer. I feel kind of bad. I got it too short, but I'm just going to put a little bit of the feet in here. You already got a better, back flipper back there. And then come this way. Okay, come back over here to our head. We got that. And look, this will make us feel better just getting this flipper right here, right? Okay, let's get that one. And woo, 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 woo. Here we go. Good. Excellent. Yay. And now here's his eyeballs. Hello. You are so good. Look at that. We'll add color. They have dark colors there. We're going to add color. Here's their little mouth, right? Our awesome whiskers, right? You don't have too many. I mean, they have a lot of whiskers, but we don't have to put a lot on. And don't forget that ear. That ear is really important. Actually, this part is done. And what I'm going to have you do right now is erase. Okay? You don't need me for this. We are back and ready to finish up our sea lions. But first, I'd like to show you. This is from our Santa Cruz Wharf. And this is our sea lions that we have right here. And they lay about on this open area where they used to use for docks, for docking boats. But look at how much fun they have. Yeah. They're very social. They really like each other. And they lay about on each other and they scratch for fleas or something. Actually, I think what they're really doing is cleaning their fur when they do that. Yeah. And they swim in the water and they jump off the pier. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good life for a sea lion. And they like to eat little fish. They eat just anything that's smaller than them, that's meat. Anchovies there. Yeah, they're just out, and they're just so playful. They just like playing with each other. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, and they like to jump on and off the pier. And that's here in Santa Cruz. They're just really fun. So, there we go. We did that. So, I hope you got all of your stuff erased, and I'm going to put some sea lions on here because I really like their sounds. And this is what we're going to do. We're using watercolors. I want you to take ordinary water and just put it on your sea lion. That's all. Ordinary water. Just plain water, right? And then I'm going to come over here, and my sea lion I'm going to start with a lighter color, like a lighter brownish sort of, just a little, not dark, nothing dark, because I'm actually going to head towards making it be a grayish color. And then I'm going to come back over here and get kind of a grayish color for this one here. So I'm going to overdo a little gray here. Try to get that over. Because there really are a mixture of colors, really a lot of them have a lot of different colors on them. I mean, they're grays and browns and almost beige, kind of tan, and there. Now, I'm going to let that be like that. I'm just going to leave that like that. It's going to dry. I'm going to clean my brush, and now we're going to come over and get our kelp. So I'm going to put a little in the kelp here. No, that was the end of that one, wasn't it? Okay, no more of that. Okay, that was fun while we got that. There, I love going to the wharf. I go to the wharf on my bike, and I really like coming and hanging out with the sea lions. And tourists love them. They just hang out, and there's a couple of places. One, that raft that I just showed you that was there, that people can, and another, there's literally like holes in the wharf with a fence around it that you can actually go and you can see them on the underpinnings of the pier. You can see them laying across some of the pier parts. And I'm just adding a little bit of extra color here. That's it, like here, wherever I miss. There, done. Okay, clean that brush. Clean that brush. And now for the water, I literally want you to put water on the water. Just plain water. This is going to allow this to be much smoother, right? Smoother. There we go. Good. A little bit. Yeah, don't worry about, I don't touch too much of the things around it. If it doesn't touch it, it's really okay. And I'm less likely to have my watercolors run into each other if I don't touch anything. That's all. And it's okay to touch the pen part, but the watercolor part is still wet. Now, another thing that I sometimes recommend is you just wait for it to dry. But in our case, no, we're just going to move forward. And I'm just trying not to touch a whole lot where I've already put watercolor. Okay, and then back over here. And then we'll do touch-ups in a minute, so to speak. And you just want to get the idea that that's water back here. It doesn't have to be very fancy. You just have to give a little bit of color, and then I'm going to put some color in between over here. There, a little bit in between. Over here, there was some here. Look at that, look at that. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I do like watercolor because it's pretty fast. It's pretty fast, and I kind of like the look. Oh, and I really do need a bit of darkness for the eyes. So be careful of the dark colors. There, the darkness. Well, honestly, I can see this brush has got hairs on here. This is a pretty worn brush. I think I owe it to myself as an artist to get a better brush, because that's not going to work. So in lieu of that, I'm just going to take my charcoal and come back in here and make them darker, because the eyes are darker. Just a little bit darker. Okay, that's good. We have done this. Look at this. Awesome. We have created the California sea lion in kelp, the fastest growing plant just about on the planet. Awesome. Really nice. Arf, arf.